Your silence and attention, worthy friends, that your free spirits may with more pleasing sense relish the life of this, our active scene. To which intent, to calm this murmuring breath, we ring this round with our invoking spells, that if your listening ears be yet prepared to entertain the subject of our play, lend us your patience. 'Tis Peter Fable, a renowned scholar, whose fame hath still been hitherto forgot by all the writers of this later age. In Middlesex, his birth and his abode, not full 7 mile from this great famous city, that for his fame in sleights and magic won, was called the Merry Fiend of Edmonton. If any here make doubt of such a name, in Edmonton, yet fresh unto this day, fixed in the wall of that old ancient church, his monument remaineth to be seen, his memory yet in the mouths of men, that whilst he lived, he could deceive the devil. Imagine now, that whilst he is retired from Cambridge back unto his native home, suppose the silent, sable-visaged night casts her black curtain over all the world, and whilst he sleeps within his silent bed, toiled with the studies of the passed day, the very time and hour wherein that spirit that many years attended his command, and oftentimes twixt Cambridge and that town, had in a minute borne him through the air by composition twixt the fiend and him, comes now to claim the scholar for his due. Behold him here, laid on his restless couch, his fatal chime prepared at his head, his chamber guarded with these sable sleights, and by him stands that necromantic chair in which he makes his direful invocations, and binds the fiends that shall obey his will. Sit with a pleased eye until you know the comic end of our sad, tragic show. And thus begins new play day on Shakesyear. So this is the prologue from Merry Devil of Edmonton, which, since it's a prologue and it explains what's going to happen in this coming play, I thought that we would just shake things up a little bit and start with the actual monologue and then talk about what it's about, because this does kick off the play, Merry Devil of Edmonton. Now, the scholars have pretty much decided that this was likely not written by Shakespeare, but it was found along with Fair M and another play tied together on the bookshelf of King Charles II, I think. And because of that, these 3 plays tied together had a note on them that said like WS or something along those lines. And because of that, people thought that this was a Shakespearean play. But of course, the scholars have looked at it and examined it for word choice and themes and character development and all that sort of thing. And most think that this likely was not actually written by Shakespeare. But we kick off this play. Oh, and it was also, they can't quite figure out exactly when it was written. Sometime between the 1590s and like 1608, somewhere in that range is where they figure it was written. It was first performed in about 1608. So this prologue kicks off the play, and it's done by the character Prologue. So this person comes out specifically to introduce the play, and the first few lines are like, okay, everybody hush up and take your seats. If you're ready to hear our story, let me tell you what our story is going to be, and then starts into the description of what the story is going to be. And we're currently, well, the curtain is drawn right now. The prologue opens the curtains most of the way through the monologue. But we're going to be visiting with a character named Peter Fable, who's a renowned scholar and magician. And he was so good at magic that people called him the Fiend of Edmonton, and they thought that he could deceive the devil. They thought that he could capture spirits, evil spirits, and make them do his bidding. So now that he's back home, and he's sleeping in his chamber, and he's got like the dreams going on and all that sort of thing, the devil has come back to claim his soul, because apparently a deal had been made that if Peter gets to do all of this magic and gets all of these powers, he sold his soul to the devil, and the devil is now coming to collect, similar to like a Faustian type situation. So then the prologue throws open the curtain and is like, here he is, check him out. And that's his necromancing chair, wherein like, he casts his spells and all that sort of thing. And the prologue's like, check it out, just watch. And the interesting thing here is that the prologue promises us a comic end to this tragic story, because this play is classified as a comedy. So we will see as it goes along if it really is comedic. Are we going to feel bad for Peter if he ends up in the bad place at the end of all of this? Who knows? We haven't really met him yet. So come on back tomorrow and we'll figure out where this play is going to go. I'll see you tomorrow for more. Mwah.